fixing up. I just literally took the head wrap off, so I have to fluff my hair out a little bit. You know, it gets a little flat. But I hope all is well today with everyone. I hope that I did get on here past the time for everybody that's on my email list. I'm so sorry. I did get on here a little late today. I said 1:30 and here it is over 15 minutes past, but rushing is just not in my vocab. So I just had to get everything done. But I hope all is well with you guys today. I hope that you are enjoying your Sunday, because today's Sunday, right? Yeah, today's Sunday. It's crazy to me that today's Sunday. I feel like the week just flew by. But my birthday was last week, so I was super busy, and I don't think I got on live at all last week, maybe one day. So we have a lot to talk about. And one of the things that we definitely have to talk about is this new lawsuit that is not really new, but it has had new findings. And so we're not going to specifically talk about them the entire live, but we are going to dive into it. And for the people that are just not joining and you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I'm here to help you and support you in understanding what is going on with our food industry, how these toxic chemicals and additives that they add inside of our food are not only harming us, but detrimental to our health, to the point where we develop things like fibroids, PCOS, we develop heart disease, high blood pressure. And since we don't realize how terrible and toxic our habits are when it comes to the food that we're consuming, we pass it down generationally and continuously pass down these terrible habits that are going to continuously make us sick and make our children sick. And so one of the main issues that we have is that we don't realize the fact that these companies are willingly poisoning us, and they know that they're poisoning us, and we don't know how to shift our habits. We don't understand what they're doing to us. And so for one major example is this Simply Juices lawsuit, because it's not just the orange juice or the tropical juice, because back, I think in 2023, I think it was last year, they had an issue with Simply Truth, Simply, what is it called? The tropical brand. And so it came out that their water was contaminated that they used for the tropical brand. And I've been telling you since then, when it came out, and you can check my past lives if I haven't posted, which I'm pretty sure I do, talking about the fact that if the water is contaminated, there's no way that it's only going to just go to one simple product. It has to be in more than one of their products. And so now here we are, fast forward, almost into 2024. Let's just be honest here. Once you hit that halfway mark of the year, it's like the rest of the year flies by. And now they're sitting here talking about the fact that majority of Simple products, if not all of them, have some type of contamination when it comes to PFAS and other issues when it comes to toxic heavy metals, toxic chemicals. And so when are you going to realize this company already knew about it? They just wanted to keep it hush-hush for as long as they could. And this one person was so adamant about the fact that they know that these products have chemicals in them that they kept trying them, because they kept throwing the lawsuit out, saying that the first study that they did, they said they didn't have enough studies to be able to link it to them and their products. And now here we are, where they did multiple studies on different types of their juices and other drink products. And now they have an actual lawsuit that has been filed. And they're saying the fact that not only is it the orange juice and the tropical juice that y'all were sitting there talking about, it's only these two, but now they're talking about a other handful of their products, if not all to majority of their products, have some type of PFAS contamination inside of their Simple products. And so when you sit there and you realize that they have not only lied to you over a year, but they've also been lying to you these past years, because since they've been making these products and they've been using the bottle that they use, they know that they had microplastics inside of their products. They knew their equipment was leaking chemicals inside of their products. Because why, when this person started doing research and started to actually do something about it and to make awareness about it, did they start to change their habits? Why did they decide that they were going to switch their equipment? Why did they decide they were going to start using different testing methods? There is a reason why all of a sudden the things that they were doing before is not acceptable, and so they switch up their habits. You have to peep the patterns that they have, because it's the same way as when you have a pattern that does not support you, when you have a pattern that has been brought to your attention that is terrible and toxic for you, and you swap up and you see the difference. They swapped up, but they didn't change. There's a difference. They swapped up different things, but they didn't change their habits. They didn't change the ways. And that's the reason why a majority of society does not understand that when they sit there and think that they're going to eat in moderation, they're going to do this in moderation, and they don't realize the fact that this moderation is still keeping you in the same space that made you sick. It's the same thing. You have to make the connections. You have to understand. And so I'm here to help you make those connections and help you to understand, if you do not know already, and if you do not understand what they're doing to you with these products and what you're consuming. And so, like I said, for anyone that is just now joining me and you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra, and I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist, and I'm here to support you in understanding what is going on with your food industry and the products that you use, and understanding why it's so important for you to make a shift in the things that you think that is normal, because what is normal is what's keeping us sick. And so for everyone that is just now joining me and you want to learn more about this, you need to stay tuned to this live. And if you want to learn more about what's going on with our food industry, you need to stay tuned. And if you have not checked out any of my my playlists on YouTube, my Purge the Poison playlist, or my plant-based mastery playlist, you need to go check that out, because they're going to support you in not only understanding what you need to do and why you need to do it when it comes to the products and the foods that you're consuming, but also motivation for you to shift your lifestyle, and just simple tips for you to understand how you can do that for yourself. And so, first of all, for the people that do not know, let's go into what is a PFAS. A PFAS. What are PFAS? PFAS are toxic forever chemicals that are found in things like our water. They're found in different products that we use, and they all come from chemical contamination from plastic. And so when you look at all of these products that we have, when we consume, when we go to the grocery store and things like that, we know that they're packaged in plastic. Our drinks are packaged in plastic. And if you're buying something that's in a bottle, it's going to be more expensive. So people really steer clear from glass and go more towards plastic. And the same thing with the breakability. People don't like glass because it breaks. But when in reality, you don't understand that there's toxic chemicals inside of these plastic that leach into the products that you use, into the food that you eat and you consume. And these companies know that. They are very aware of that. They've been aware of that for many, many years now. But now it's becoming public knowledge how toxic they are to us, and how terrible they are to us. And since they're so terrible and toxic to us, they do things like store in our fat cells. Microplastics store inside of our fat cells, if you do not know that. And when they store inside of your fat cells and you never release them, do you know that they pass down to your children? They are finding infants and fetuses with microplastics inside of their blood already. They're finding fetuses in the utero, in the womb, that have microplastics inside of them. They're finding out that toddlers and infants and these young babies are having microplastics inside of them. And we don't even realize, and we don't know how to release them, because we're not taught these things. We're not taught how to release these microplastics and to support our body. And what we are taught is that it's okay as long as we do it in moderation. It's okay to use our Ziploc bags and all these different things. But we don't realize that it's leaching toxic chemicals inside of our products. And so, as we do a little bit of dive, a little bit of research, a little observation, you see that all the different things that you love with your juices, with your snacks that you get, they're all packaged in plastic. You sit here and you get told by these officials that we have too much plastic, that we have too much contamination when it comes to plastic, and we don't have anything to degrade the plastic, that we need to recycle. But why are we not making more of an emphasis for these companies to stop using plastic and to start using more glass, and giving them incentives for using more glass, giving them incentives to make different concoctions, to be able to use paper bags, to use different types of glass, all these different methods that we have. But instead, now they're sitting here making plastic edible for the human consumption. If you have not seen anything about that, you need to go do some research on that, because now, instead of them getting rid of the plastic and understanding that plastic is not supporting us, and we're producing way more plastic than we can ever get rid of, and it's not only making us toxic, the animals around us toxic, and polluting our earth, Now they're telling you, hey, I'm going to make plastic that's edible so you can eat the plastic and put it inside of you on top of the microplastics that are leaching inside of your body from the products that you get from the grocery store. And this is not a conspiracy. This is not a theory. This is literal fact. You can go Google it and look it up. They are making this more toxic than it is, because if they're coming out with all of these different studies about PFAS and microplastics and different things, why would they start making edible plastic for people? Why would you eat plastic? They were doing this, I think, in the beginning of the year. I think it was the beginning of the year, if not, it was last year, that they were talking about making edible ice cream from plastic. Now they're sitting there talking about different other products that they can make and that are edible from plastic. If you sit here and you believe that these people are telling you that you can eat plastic and be okay, you are going to be in the category of the people that are sick and cannot be helped. And I'm going to say that again for the people that it went over their head. If you believe that there is any plastic that you can eat as a person and consume and be healthy, you are going to be in the category of people who are going to be sick and cannot be helped. There are so many different changes that are going on with our environment, that are going on with our government system, that is going on with our food, with our products, and all these different regulations. And you don't realize how much these companies are profiting off of the loopholes that are not being dealt with. You don't understand how much they're profiting off of you thinking that something that can be consumed in moderation is okay, knowing that not only is it giving you toxic chemicals from the products that the ingredients that they add inside the product, but also from the microplastics that are leaching inside of the product. And so you sit here and you think that you are supporting your body by eating these foods, because at the end of the day, it's food, not realizing you're just filling your body and you're not fueling it. You're not helping it. You're filling your stomach to the point of not actually fueling it and supporting it. And you have to shift your habits and change that for yourself. Because at the end of the day, your health is suffering. It's detrimental to your health. And since it's so detrimental to your health, you don't realize the risk that you are causing yourself of consuming simple things as like citric acid, because citric acid is derived from black mold. If it is not derived from a natural source, like majority of these companies do not do anymore because it's cheaper, they derive citric acid from black mold. And the same thing with these PFAS. They're sitting there leaching inside of your body, toxic, storing inside of your fat cells, and leading you to things like cancer, liver damage, leading you to having brain fog, having instability mentally. And you don't realize these things because microplastics, they leach past your brain barrier. The thing that protects your brain and keeps it safe inside of you. Microplastics breach that barrier because they're so small it can go through to your brain. So that's the reason why when you have overload of microplastics, especially in young children, they develop speech issues, developmental issues, anxiety. They have panic attacks. They have depression episodes, and that's in older people and younger people. But when it comes to the children, especially because we don't realize how toxic our habits are when it comes to our kids, that is one of the main links that people do not understand, is the reason why children develop autism at a young age. That's the reason why children develop all of these different temperaments that lead them to having autism. You don't realize the fact that this child didn't have autism until they came in contact with all the microplastics that were inside of your body, and then you feed them a whole bunch of microplastics when they come out of you. People don't understand that, and they love to sit there and say that there's no issue with me, there's no problem. I'm not saying there's ever a problem with anybody that has any autism or disability or anything else going on inside of their body that they were born with. The problem is the fact that we don't address the issue we don't address where this is stemming from. We don't address the habits that led us here. We don't address the actual facts of the fact that microplastics leach inside of you. They cause brain fog. They cause developmental issues. And so we don't put two and two together. Instead, we try to okay the terrible habits that led us here. Because at the end of the day, you are made perfectly, and the only thing that messes us up or leads us to having something that is not natural to our body, that was not our design, is the terrible habits that we have that keep us here in this state of being normal, in this state of suffering, in this state of constantly and consistently poisoning our body. Because if your body is suffering from any disease or illness and it's not healing itself, you have to understand that you have a terrible habit that is blocking your healing. It's blocking your body from being supported. And that's what's going to happen if you were sitting here consuming these products like Simply, in period, in general, any Simply product. Because if you're sitting here eating or drinking Simply orange juice, or you're sitting here drinking their Simply tropical, because it's funny enough for the people who know who Kroger is, because Kroger's only in like the South range, they stopped selling Simply as soon as they came through with their first lawsuit. And a majority of people also stopped selling Simply when they first had their lawsuit go through. And then they said, well, it's only their tropical fruit juice. But now here they are saying it's the orange juice too, and many other of their products. So when are you going to realize they knew that? They already knew that. They just tried to keep it hush-hush so they can keep making their money. They knew that the chemicals were leaching inside of their other products. They knew that the water was contaminated for other products. They just didn't want to let you know because they need your money. They want you to keep spending with them, and they see you as a dollar sign and not a person. And you deserve better. You deserve more. And if you are somebody that has suffered from any liver damage or reproductive issues, or you have any issues with brain fog, mental stability when it comes to anxiety, panic attacks, depression, if you are sitting here dealing with any excess bloating and excess fat that you can't release, if you're sitting here dealing with any issues inside of the body, it's stemming from your habits. And if you are consuming things like Simply that has PFAS in it, or has additives and ingredients that are toxic to your body, you have to understand the fact that these companies are poisoning you on purpose, one. And then two, your habits are so unstable that it's keeping you in a disease state. And it's going to keep you there. You're not going to heal. You're not going to get better doing what you do currently right now. And if you are not sick now, but you are consuming these things, you are going to get sick. That is the mission. That is the agenda. Because the additives from the ingredients that they give you already currently aren't making you sick enough. They aren't making you sick fast enough. So what are they doing now? They're making new ways to make you sick. That's the reason why now they're telling you you can eat plastic, because they're coming out with edible plastic so we can get rid of the pollution, so we can support our environment. But you're not even supporting your internal environment with your body. So make that make sense. Make it make sense how you can sit there and be told by somebody who is poisoning you that you're supporting the environment, but they don't even support you and help you take care of your own body. They tell you to eat this cheese, and if you are on government assistance, they give you government cheese that they know is literally one molecule away from being plastic. And they know that, because there are plenty of studies that have come out and they tell you that. Yet you don't change anything. You don't change your ways. You don't change your habits. You don't understand what you are doing to your body, because you consume this way every single day. There is no moderation. If you eat meat, if you eat dairy, if you sit here and eat these processed foods with additives and fillers that are not supporting your body, but not only making you toxic on the inside, you are poisoning yourself. And these toxins store inside of your fat cells. And just so you don't, if you don't know, dairy has antibiotics in it. It has toxins in it, because they sit there and they feed these animals GMO products, which are toxic to the body. And then you sit there and you eat these animals that are not only toxic from the antibiotics and the illnesses that they have going on with the parasites and everything else, but they also are sitting here having GMOs inside of their body. And then you consume that animal, you're feeding off of the toxins. The same thing with the milk. You're feeding off of their dairy. And so you have to realize that all of this is connected to your health. There is no separate issue with you developing reproductive issues, cancer, you having all these diabetes, high blood pressure, and all these different issues going on inside of your body. It's not disconnected. It's all connected. And you're not making the connection, so you're not healing. You're not supporting your body, so you're not healing. Because your body is a healing vessel, and it should be healing consistently and constantly. And so when you're not healing, what is the block? And what are we going to do about it? How are you going to figure out what's blocking your health? You have to get back to the basics. You have to support your body and get back to the basics. And that looks like you eating a basic plant-based diet. I'm not saying you have to go raw. I'm not saying you have to be raw vegan. I'm saying that you have to understand that eating your fruits and your vegetables are going to flush your system, one, keep you from being sick, two, and allows your body to heal and to support itself because you're getting all the nutrients that you need. Every single nutrient that you need comes from a plant source. You do not have to have meat. You do not have to have dairy. You don't have to sit here and take supplements and medications and these different vitamins from these companies that do not care about you or do not see you as a person. But rather understand that if you are not eating a real whole food diet, a lifestyle of you eating a rainbow plate and knowing how to support yourself with fruits and vegetables, you are being misled. I'm never saying that you can't take a supplement to support your body. You can't take a vitamin to support your body. You can't take a tincture or you can't use herbs. But what I'm saying is you're wasting your time and your money if you're not eating correctly and using food as your medicine. You're wasting your time, your energy, and your money if you sit here and think that that is going to support you in healing. If you think that that is going to get you to the space of being healthy. Because no amount of band-aids from these medications, these supplements, these tinctures, these herbs are going to get you to the healthy healing that you need when you're eating crap. When you're sitting there going and getting fast food consistently and constantly and eating toxic fillers and foods, you're sitting there consuming PFAS and all these different things and you're not actually supporting your body, you have to understand that nothing is going to get you to the space of healing like you supporting your own body with food and using it as your medicine first. Then all the other stuff will follow. Then all the other help will follow and will support you. But you have to first get away from contaminating and making your body toxic. Because if you were sitting there, for example, drinking these Simply juices and drinking these Simply orange juice, you are contaminating your body with PFAS. You're contaminating yourself with chemicals that do not leave your body on their own. And you don't know how to release them. You don't know how to support your body in getting rid of them. Because you don't, one, do any research. Two, you don't even support yourself with the foods that you're consuming. So how are you going to sit there and say that you consume in moderation and you care for yourself, but you're poisoning yourself? Because that's what this is poison. If you are toxic on the inside, you are slowly being poisoned to unaliving on this earth. You are slowly poisoning yourself until one of your organs or your systems fail. You are slowly poisoning yourself to the point where you get to a space of no longer being able to heal and operating at your full capacity. You are choosing to poison yourself rather than choosing to use food as your medicine and support your body. Because I love food. I'm not going to sit here and act like I eat a raw plant-based diet. I don't sit here and season my food. I don't do all these different things. I season, I cook, I do fast, I do cleanse. In between me enjoying the foods that I love and I eat, my birthday was last week. I literally sat there and I got a whole vegan cake that is still in the fridge and I didn't overindulge. I understand the fact that that wasn't the time for me to eat sweets because it was that time of the month and I didn't need to eat sweets because that was going to make my cycle worse. So instead, I got me a little taste. And then guess what? Now here I am after the fact and now I can eat cake again. Now I can enjoy for this little period of time because I know how to take care of my body and I know how to support myself. I sync with my body's systems, but that's because I understand my body's system. I understand how my body operates and I know the signs of what is going on with my body. I understand the fact that I don't need to be sitting here consuming these PFAS, these terrible chemicals, in order for me to be happy. Because you can be happy and enjoying the foods that you love because at the end of the day, everybody loves a good meal. Everybody loves a good snack. But you don't have to poison yourself to get that good snack. You don't have to poison yourself to enjoy what you're eating and what you're consuming. Understand the fact that if you are sitting here poisoning yourself, you are leading yourself to a lifetime of being unhealthy and then leading yourself to having some type of disease, some type of cancer, and you're making yourself leave this earth earlier than what you're designed to. And you don't deserve that. These companies do not deserve your hard-earned money just for you to be toxic and poisoned on the inside and slowly unaliving. That's not fair. And you're doing it to yourself if you're not changing your ways and your habits. And you don't deserve that. If you want better for yourself, you are going to get away from that. You are going to release that. You're going to release that hold that these companies have on you, that these products have on you, because there are plenty of alternatives. There's plenty of help for you. You have to understand that you deserve better and you know that you need better. Thank you for the follow. My iPad just flashed. I need somebody to follow me. And so you have to do things, first of all, like understanding what the risk is with you consuming these processed foods, these processed drinks. You sit there and you say, well, it's not made from concentrate. And then you go and you buy it and you get it, that juice, but you don't flip it around and look at the ingredients and see that it has citric acid as a preservative, which is made from black mold. You don't flip it around and see that these drinks have titanium dioxide, sodium phosphate, and all these different things for preservatives inside of it. And so you say it's not made from concentrate, so it has to be good juice, right? But you don't realize the fact that real juice, the juice that is good for you, is not going to be able to be sitting there in a plastic container on a shelf with no preservatives in it. Real juice. Because for somebody who has been juicing for over 2 years now, and I rarely ever buy juice. The only juice that I buy is the Martinelli's apple juice. That's the only juice I buy. I understand now, because when I did go to the store and think that I was gonna, have me a little juice, because I was like, I really love juice, I want some juice, I'm out, I have nothing else to drink, and they had no Martinelli's, why did I get sick right after drinking it? Because my body is not wanting these chemicals, and yours isn't either. You're not sitting there craving a Sprite. You know what you're craving? You're craving the addictive the addictive sugars that are added inside there. Even though it says no sugar, you have to understand that they add aspartame and high fructose corn syrup inside of these no sugar drinks, and they can label it as no added sugar because they didn't add white sugar or brown sugar or cane sugar or anything else, which brown sugar and white sugar are the same thing and they're both toxic to your body. But they can add aspartame because that's not technically a sugar. They can add high fructose corn syrup because that's technically not an added sugar. And so they can label it as no sugar, but you don't do any research to realize the fact that, yeah, it might not have the sugar that you deem as, okay, white sugar, brown sugar, but they have toxic high fructose corn syrup and aspartame, which causes cancer. And you can look that up if you don't believe me. It causes cancer. And so if you are not sitting here finding brands that you trust and understanding how to read your labels, then you are not only harming yourself, but you're doing yourself a disservice every single time you go to the grocery store and pick something up. Because you should be able to know if what the ingredient is, if it's harming you or if it's helping you. You should be able to read your labels and know if it's a preservative. You should be able to know if it's a chemical, or you should be able to know if it comes from a natural source and it's going to support you, and then you buy it, you purchase it, and you keep buying from that brand. You should be able to email these companies and ask them, what is your citric acid made from? Is it made from a natural source, or is it made from black mold? And if they do not respond to you, you no longer buy from that company. Because I've emailed companies to ask them, and guess what? They responded to me because they're the companies that I trust. They're the companies that tell me exactly what their citric acid is derived from, and it's derived from a natural source instead of black mold. Because there is one person who started this whole deriving it from black mold, and they now come out with your little hokey pokeys that you love, and it starts with a P. They started that. They started the brand and then moved on, sold their company to China, and then moved on to the little hokey pokeys that y'all were so adamant about getting in 2020. And now here we are with all these people with high blood pressure, younger people, younger and younger, having heart disease and heart problems. And you're not making the connections. You're not connecting the dots. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing to you. There is no coincidence. There is no accident. The only people that have actual accidents and don't know what's going on inside of their products are the small business companies that are just starting. But these companies that have been in business for years, these companies that are owned by the same 5 to 10 corporations and just branched on down, they know exactly what they're doing. There is no mistake. There is no accident. They've had plenty of lawsuits to prove so. And they've had plenty of buyouts and payoffs to prove so. But you keep eating your Lay's. You keep eating and drinking your Pepsi Cola products. You keep sitting here and going to McDonald's and Burger King, and you keep going to your Red Lobster, and you keep going to these Chili's and Red Robin's and all these different chain restaurants and chain fast food places. Keep doing it and see where you end up. Because literally they just had another lawsuit, and I'm going to bring this up, but I'm not going to dive into it. You can look it up for yourself. Not a lawsuit, a recall. They just had a whole recall on all Coke products inside of restaurants because they have a I don't know if it's a preservative, but it's a chemical. I don't know if it's what kind of preservative or what it is exactly, but it's a chemical that is inside of all Coke products that were in these chain restaurants. They had a recall on them because they were toxic to humans and were making them sick. Do you think they didn't know that? Do you think they didn't know that? Because I'm pretty sure they did. But you can give them the benefit of the doubt, even though they've been poisoning you for years. Give them the benefit of the doubt. They didn't know. They didn't mean to. Okay. At the end of the day, if you were sitting here not researching, not reading your labels, and you were not sitting here advocating for companies that actually do not poison you, you're doing yourself a disservice, your future children, if you don't have them already, as well as you're continuing the pattern that everybody in your family that has done. Because if you look at the people in your family and you look at the past habits or anything that you have going on and you do some type of assessment, what do I eat every single day? Do I eat meat? Do I eat dairy? Do I eat a lot of processed snacks? Do I eat a lot of processed sugar? Do I sit here and eat things that have additives and don't realize? Do I eat a lot of canned foods? How often do I cleanse? How often do I fast and do it correctly? How often do I sit here and do a reset for my body to help my body not only flush, but also release any bloating or excess fat that I have going on, because that's where toxins store. Do I even understand where toxins do to my body? Do I understand where toxins store inside of my body? When you start to ask these questions, you realize the fact that you haven't been taught how to take care of your body, one. But two, you also realize the fact that since you haven't been taught how to take care of your body, you have been misled and been poisoning your body for years on end. How long have you consumed this way? How long have you been eating all of this food that is toxic to your body because it's something to feel good? You eat ice cream when you're sad. You eat ice cream when you go through a breakup. You love your Oreos because they're just so delicious. How long have you been eating this way? How long have you been eating your Chips Ahoy, your Sour Patch Kids? You've been sitting here eating sour straws, beef jerkies, cinnamon buns. How long have you been eating your Little Debbies? Because I can speak from before I went to the lifestyle, I was eating that crap from a very, very young age. I was sitting there 3, 4, eating this crap probably as soon as I could chew. My aunt was rubbing chocolate on my gums when I came out of the hospital. Like, consistently and constantly eating and consuming things that are toxic and poisonous to my body, not realizing the fact that I, one, was poisoning myself, and two, these toxic habits have led my family to having high blood pressure, diabetes, sitting here having insulin resistance, sitting here developing different types of cancer. And we do not deserve that as people, one. And two, you don't deserve to keep doing the same habit patterns, because that is something that is passed down generationally. The disease, the illness is not passed down generationally. The toxic habits are. The habit patterns are. And once we start to realize that, we'll start to make changes. When we start to realize that we don't deserve to be poisoned, we'll start to make changes. We'll start supporting our body and we'll start supporting ourselves. And that looks like you understanding how to consume, how to support your body through the foods that you're consuming. And if you want to get to the space of releasing and resetting and supporting your body, I have to rub this little baby hair down because obviously I did not put enough edge control on it, and it's sticking up and it's making me mad. It's making me a little mad. But if you were sitting here consuming any kind of way and you don't realize, oh my goodness, and now I just moved one out the way, okay. And you're sitting here consuming any, sorry y'all, you're sitting here consuming any kind of way and you don't realize how toxic the habits that you have, you don't understand how terrible the ingredients you consume on a regular basis really are to your body, and you want to gain understanding and you want to shift that for yourself and you want to change, the time is now for one. The time is now for you to do it, because it's not getting any better with our society and what we're doing and how we're consuming. It's not getting any better. And so support is out there for you, with you educating yourself, you understanding what you're doing to yourself, because you have to start educating yourself in order for you to make change. You have to know what is wrong so that you can correct it. And so if you are in the space where you are ready to understand what you're doing, to release and reset, to shift your habits and to shift your lifestyle because you know you deserve better and you want better for yourself, it starts with you taking action and educating yourself. And if you are ready for that education without all the struggle, without all the suffering, without all the research that I've been doing since 2020, because that research takes time, it takes effort. And if a lot of people don't have enough time to be doing as much research as I do, you'll be spending all of the years that I've already done trying to research and educate yourself in between your everyday life, and you'll already be in the space of 2025 agenda, 2027 agenda, 2030 agenda, and it'll be too late. And so if you are ready, all the links are in my bio, and I suggest for you to learn how to release and reset and to cleanse and do it effectively. And my detoxing bundle is going to support you in doing that, because I have a detoxing guide that is literally a bundle of 7 books. One is a template guide, and there's 6 other guides that help you completely cleanse your body with gut health, detoxing microplastics, getting rid of different ailments that you have when it comes to inflammation, anti-inflammatory health, that's what I was thinking of, and a plethora of other support systems that are going to get you to the space of not only being healthy, not only supporting your body, but truly understanding that shifting your health is not hard. It's just a matter of the education that you give yourself and the tips and the support that you give yourself. Educating yourself on how to support your body truly in its natural design, its natural way, that's how you get to the space of healing. That's how you get to the space of allowing your body to being healthy and getting back to the healing state that it's supposed to be in. Because if your body is not healing, you are blocking it from its healing. And so releasing and resetting is going to support you in getting in that space of healing. And that bundle that you get will be for you for a lifetime. You get unlimited access to that ebook, and that is for you to keep, you to use every time you need a reset and to release, and for you to understand that it's not hard to support your body at all, and that they have completely lied to you with this diet culture and these supplements and these different dietary supplements that they keep feeding you and telling you you need. Because you don't need that. You don't need a Jenny Craig. You don't need a Weight Watchers. You don't need to sit here and do their calorie counting point systems. Because if you're doing Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or any of those other things, look at the ingredients that they tell you these are okay products for you to consume. Look at the ingredients that they're telling you can consume. Because I know several people that were in the program. They still are eating the same crap that you're eating, just in a point system. It still has terrible ingredients that are toxic. They're not supporting their body. It's just a momentary fix, a momentary band-aid that is leading them to not only gaining all the weight back, if not gaining more weight. You're wasting your money and you're wasting your time. It's time for you to stop doing that to yourself. It's time for you to know and learn natural methods of healing and naturally supporting your body in healing, because you deserve healing. Your body is a healing vessel, so you're blocking your own healing. And so that is all I have for today. For everybody that does not know me, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I'm here to support you in understanding our food industry and the products that are going inside of our food and the products that we use, and knowing how toxic and terrible our current habits are and switching them to healthier ones. And so if you have any questions, I will take your questions now. And for anyone that does not know, I post all of my previous lives on YouTube. So if you have missed any of my past lives, or you missed the beginning of this live, it will be posted on my YouTube, and check out all my past lives. Don't forget to subscribe if you are watching this later on YouTube. You can drop any questions that you have currently right now. If you have a specific question that you don't want to ask in front of everyone, you can always DM me. My DMs are always open. Same thing with people that are watching later on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comments, or you can DM me on my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook. All my social medias are always open. But I am going to take questions for the next couple of minutes, and then I'm going to hop off. I hope that this live has supported you, because after I saw all of the talk about Simply and their products and how they're once again back in the media for PFAS, I was like, I told y'all already. And I kept telling everybody around me, and nobody was sitting there listening. They were all like, well, they just said I think it was their lemonade at first. I think that's what it was. It was their tropical juice and their lemonade. And everybody loves their lemonade. And they were all talking about how Simply's lemonade is so good, and they get and all this different stuff. And I was like, it has to be in all products. It can't just be in one. It's not separate. And here we are now, and they're saying that majority, if not all, their products have some type of PFAS contamination. It's not separate. These companies know what they're doing. Support yourself, support your body, and understand that you deserve more, you deserve better, and you deserve eating real whole foods, first of all. Like, let's just cut that. Cut it right now. If you don't know how to eat real whole foods outside of meat and dairy, because that's what society told you, that is real whole foods, that's how you complete a meal, you don't know how to take care of your body. And it's time for you to learn how to take care of your body, and you need to come work with me. So if you are ready, all my links are in my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok is not clickable, but it is linked in there. You can screenshot it and just click it, and you know how iPhones work. It says open link. But I'm going to hop off of here. I'm not seeing any questions. So I hope that you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And I hope this live has supported you. And I will be back either tomorrow. If you're not on my email list, get on my email list, because I let you know when I go live so you don't miss them. If you don't have your TikTok notifications on, because I know I don't. Yeah, so get on my email list. Make sure you get on that, because I give you plenty of tips. I give you plenty of freebies. Subscribe to my YouTube. Plenty of freebies once again. And when you're ready to educate yourself and to work with me further, all my links are in my social bios. And I hope that you have a great, great rest of your day.